Come along for the ride. Two-wheelers, three-wheelers, four-wheelers. It's time to get revved up as Puerto Penasco hosts the greatest motorcycle fiesta just south of the border. We go full throttle with Rocky Point Rally founder and organizer Oscar Palacio Soto on this episode of the Rocky Point Podcast.
Welcome, Puerto Penasco lovers. This is the Rocky Point Podcast with award-winning host Thomas Baldrick.
Hello, I'm Thomas Baldrick. Thank you for being with us on this special edition of the Rocky Point Podcast. When it comes to the second weekend of November here in Puerto Penasco, it's been my experience you can throw away what you've heard about motorcycle gangs in the news. You can throw away what you've seen on TV and the movies about bikers. Yes, there will be plenty of bikes in town that weekend, but it's motorcycle riders, people who love motorcycles, people like you and me. And they will come on two wheels, some will come on three wheels, but many more people will come on four wheels. These are people who aren't into motorcycles, who maybe have never even ridden a motorcycle. They come to town to enjoy the beautiful weather in this beautiful seaside resort, and they come with old friends, and they come to make new friends. The Rocky Point Rally is a party. It is a great party for a great cause. We hope you can be there. I will be there, and the man sitting next to me, he will definitely be there. He is the organizer and founder of this event, and we're grateful to have him with us today.
Well, thanks you very much for inviting us to come and meet you and talk with you about the Rocky Point Rally.
I'm much better looking in email. I just thought you figured that out by now anyway. But
Sammy told me that story.
Hey, you know what? I thought since this is it's a small town, let's start before we talk motorcycles and the event. Let's start by talking about your history here, your relationship with Puerto Penasco.
My grandfather, he had a hardware store in Peñasco. Mm-hmm. And my father came on a fishing boat with a very good friend of him. He decided to stay in Peñasco, and then he became a captain in the boat. Then in 1954-55, when I was born, Mr. Esteban Pivac, one of the persons involved in the shrimping at that time, he helped my father to get a boat. And then he kept working and working. Then he got another boat and kept working and adding. By 1991, the shrimping industry was nationalized in Mexico. We sold all our boats, everything we had in the shrimping industry. And then we started to buy pieces of land where the Playa Bonita is.
Right.
And it took us about 7 to 8 years to buy the whole property. Then we noticed that we had a gold mine there. Mm-hmm. And we did very good.
I have friends who stay there on a regular basis. It's a beautiful piece of property that you have. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And when we're done this, let's you and I talk privately about what single women you have available in your family. Okay, so we can do that.
Well, it's what? She will be single for the next 10 days.
Okay. Move quickly.
She's getting
Hurry up
married
and talk, will you?
Not this weekend, the following weekend.
Good for you. Good for her. Let's talk about how you needed to go outside of this community in terms of coming up with the idea for the Rocky Point Rally.
I started to ride motorcycles when I was 14 years old. That's about 50 years ago.
Okay.
And for some reason, I fell in love with motorcycles. There's not anyone that told me or introduced me to motorcycles. Right. I just fell in love with bikes since I was a kid. At that time, in summer, I went to get a job and save money to buy me a motorcycle because I knew that my father wasn't going to spend money on my motorcycle. So I had to do it the hard way. When I went to Mexicali to college, my father made me make a promise that I wouldn't ride a motorcycle while I was in Mexicali. I said, yes, I will make that promise. And I almost completed. Almost. Except that I did a little bit of off-road racing on those years. Then I came to Peñasco.
We'll be right back on the Rocky Point Podcast. Stay with us. Discover your slice of Rocky Point paradise at Sonoran Sun 510 East. This all newly redone one-bedroom condo has the beachiest theme in Puerto Penasco, spectacular views of the Sea of Cortez, and spectacular online reviews from real guests like these. Exceptional, adorable condo with attentive service, amazing in every way. This place is unbelievable. You will not want to leave. Beautiful, clean, comfortable, and cozy. We will definitely be back. Sonoran Sun 510 East has 5-star ratings on Airbnb and VRBO. With perfect 10s on Booking.com, the site made the condo one of its top picks, calling it a booker's favorite. Want a place to relax, rejuvenate, rekindle romance? Just search Sonoran Sun 510 East to watch the YouTube videos. Book online or book direct and save by calling 602-688-3330. That's 602-688-3330. Create your own amazing guest experience. Stay and play at Sonoran Sun 510 East.
Now back to the Rocky Point Podcast.
Continuing our conversation with Rocky Point Rally founder and organizer, Oscar Palacio Soto. Talk about that Laughlin River Run. I don't know if you went multiple times or was it just once that you went? That is the birth ground of the idea to bring a rally here to Peñasco.
That's what ignited the Rocky Point Rally. Group of 10 motorcycle riders from Peñasco. We went and we saw everything was happening there, the music, the events, and all the stuff. We discussed the idea in Laughlin, and I said, well, we'll probably do this, something like this in Peñasco. The first few years was the first weekend in November, but it's always very close to the Day of the Dead in Mexico. So we decided to move the event a week later, the second weekend in November. And that, created fastest growth on the event. The first few years, it was every year was a double of motorcycles. Mm-hmm. We started with 380, then the next year was 800, then 1600, then 3,400 bikes, till we got until in 2006 to about 8,000 to 9,000 motorcycles. Then in 2007, the economy went down, and the Rocky Point Rally went down also. That time, discussing with some of our friends the idea of probably canceling the event in 2009 and 10, because we knew the numbers were going down and down. We decided those years, let's make a plan to keep the Rocky Point Rally alive and see what happens in the future. And then in 2011, 12, we started to see better numbers. Till last year that we got probably another, 8,000 bikes. Something really nice is happening. We don't see too much growth in motorcycles. We see a lot of growth on people visiting the event. They come to Puerto Penasco to enjoy the party, the fiesta, probably go to the beach and some of the activities of the Rocky Point Rally. But we see a lot of people that come in groups, and one or two of them are riding. The rest of them are coming in vehicles, and they got involved in the party.
So, Oscar, when did you know you had something with this event?
The first year, and the guy who put up all this plan together is Lyman Cheddar. He's a very good friend of mine. He used to work at that time with Body Stops in Phoenix. At that time, we expected anything between 100 and 150 bikes. When we noticed that we had 380 bikes, we had the feeling that this was going to be big. It's a very interesting rally because it's mostly come and have fun. The activities that we do is just to make people do something in Puerto Penasco, but we let everybody go and have fun wherever they want to go for free. Concerts are for free. They can go to a Pinacare volcanic area ride for free. They can get into the pirate boat for free when they donate money to the institutions that we support with the Rocky Point Rally donations.
Let's talk about that. So it's not just a good time in a great place. It's a good time and a great place for great causes.
That weekend in Peñasco was very slow. We created an event to impact the economy when it was bad. Also, we asked local businesses to sponsor some of the events. And Lyman and I discussed the idea of let's make this a charity event. And the first few years, it was basically the DIF office, the city office that helps poor people, the fire department, the Red Cross, the School for Handicapped Kids, La Montaña. I think that was it at the beginning. Then we added the house of the old folks, Jose Valdivia. Then we added the Cancer Center for Women. And then we added the DIF office also for poor people in Sonora. We had 7 institutions for years until a few years ago that the city mayor Ernesto Mundo asked us to split the money and help a house where local students from Puerto Penasco live in Mexicali. Students that cannot afford to pay a house or rent an apartment. So the city has a house and the city supports that house so students, at least they have a place where to sleep and eat and spend the time.
So being a finance guy and being good with numbers, you have to be proud at the work that you've done in raising money for these worthwhile causes.
We did, $28,000 this year roughly. That's the amount of money that we split up equally in all of these institutions, which is really helpful for them. They always work hard during the rally, and they always are willing to help us to make everything run smooth and easy. So I'm glad that I work for 5 to 6 months, and at the end, give that money to different charities in Peñasco that they know they're really needed.
If you would, talk about the importance of registration. Because I think some people just come to town, they think it's a big party, but if you don't register for the Rocky Point Rally, you're not contributing anything toward the charitable causes.
Yeah, you're right. Well, we always try to put as much pressure or enforce whatever way we can find in order to people to register and donate money. That money, 100% of the money from registration goes directly to those institutions. We work as hard as we can in order to do it, and I wish we could get more money because we could if people decided to donate. We do probably 15 to 18% of the people who come to Peñasco.
Okay.
But if we will able to get at least 50% of the people to donate, we give them for $20 a lot of goodies and things of the Rocky Point Rally. I think it's worth it to do it, to have the pin, to have the patch, to have a bandana, to have a neck tube, things like that we motorcycles use very often. It will be a very good contribution.
Thanks for touching on that, because that's one of the reasons that I really wanted to do this podcast, so that we could help spread the word on that, because I think it's some people just didn't know. It's not that they don't want to support.
So we're working on that and putting all the best ideas together in order to make it more profitable for the local institutions.
All right, so you're a motorcycle rider. For people who haven't come to the event, maybe they're not motorcycle riders, maybe they're just coming for the party because they heard it's a really good time. Would you talk about the term biker? Because I just want to make sure people know this is not like biker gangs all gathering together in Rocky Point, that these are just, average citizens who love to ride motorcycles like you do.
I always go to events in the States as often as I can. I've been in places where you can see the gangs and stuff like that, and what I do is just move away from that area, But I will say the highest percent of motorcycles, they just want to have fun and get together, meet friends, and make new friends. And that's what I trying to do in Peñasco. And this year we're starting again another part of the event that we did third, fourth, and fifth year in El Mirador by Menis. We are going to generate an event on Saturday. On that area, we expect to spread events in different areas on the city again.
On a good day, some motorcycles have risks because people don't see them very well, distracted drivers, etc. Talk about the safety aspect of coming to this event if you're on a bike.
There have been very few accidents, mostly on the highway, not in the city, and mostly because of high consumption of alcohol.
Right.
One or two because they were really accidents, things that happen. If you think that in 19 years we have had those 2 or 3 accidents in that many motorcycles in so many days, it's a very small number.
Right.
I always, before the event, visit local police and different authorities, local radios, and ask the local people to be aware of the motorcycles. Many of them, they don't know the city. They sometimes they're lost, they're thinking of going somewhere. They're not paying attention. Most of them, very close to 100%, they behave very good in city. Of course, they're going to make noise with the motorcycles. They're going to be yelling and screaming, and if they see a nice, good-looking girl, they're going to yell and stuff like that. This year, we're going to have more police, more security around the events, and we'll do the best we can do to keep the Rocky Point Rally as safe as we have done in the past.
I've had people ask me, well, what do you think? Is it safe to go to Rocky Point that weekend? I said, yes, absolutely. That you could probably see more grown-ups arguing at a kid's baseball game or soccer game on any given weekend, wherever you live in the world. But when you think about it, Oscar, you must have an angel on your shoulder or something, because when you get this many people in town, last year I heard maybe 25,000, right?
Yeah.
So you get that many people in town, you get
having fun,
you get alcohol. This is why I say it's kind of like Mardi Gras. It's a safe event to go to.
Yeah, we do a good plan.
Good.
It works, and I cannot say here what we are going to do, what we do, but it works.
Even if you're not into motorcycles, it's my experience that this can be a great event to come to, as you've already used the term, to come with your friends, to come with old friends, to meet new friends. That's not just a PR slogan. That's the reality of this event.
If it's 8,000 bikes, could be around 12,000 people, because some of them ride a couple on the motorcycle. So that means probably that another 12,000 people come without a motorcycle and have fun.
Right.
Of course, we are not making plans at this moment to generate more people, since all hotels, condominiums, houses, apartments are sold out already. So the impact, it's probably the second weekend with that economy impact in our city after Semana Santa.
Right. You can't do this alone. Any people you want to take this opportunity to thank or throw out shout-outs for helping you make the Rocky Point Rally what it is?
Well, at the beginning, it was still very good friends of mine, Salvador Cabrales and Fausto Soto, Antonio and Jorge Bellot, and Jim Black, of course. He was the one that put everything together in Peñasco at that time. Then some other guys helped me during the year. Some of the local bikers helped me out. The Rocky Point riders, the Hijos del Pueblo, the Plásticos. So there's about 3 or 4 local groups of riders that they always help me. And lately, it's been a team with Sammy Kissiker, and some other friends that still help me. For example, sometimes I ask Salvador's opinion about the route and things like that. So this year we're going to have the support of the Red Cross and the fire department during the parade. So there's a lot of people involved in this. But it's this last few years coordinating and executing most of the plan. It's been Sammy and I. And it's doing very good. Probably in the next 5 years, we'll be able to generate a bigger event. There's people that have the idea of putting up a big concert in Puerto Penasco during that weekend. But I see only good things for the future. We'll be doing okay if we keep working hard, making this thing the best we can do. And of course, this is like everything, making a plan and following the plan. That's what it makes success.
So you're already, Sammy told me, you're already in planning stages for the 2020 event. Can you believe it's your 20th anniversary of doing this?
I talked with Lyman about a month ago in Phoenix, and we discussed a few things about 2020. I invited him to join us in 2020, and we'll do probably something really special for those first-time sponsors. So I'm thinking on doing something really nice for them.
Okay. Anything you wanted to add that we didn't cover already? Any requests you have? Any thoughts?
Basically, thank all the bikers that have donated money in the past. That has been a great help for the institutions. We would like to make those numbers grow up. So I will ask whoever, when they come to Peñasco, stop at registration and donate your money. And we will get 100% of that money to those institutions. So ride safe and thank everybody that has been involved. Thank the local businesses that sponsor and help us to put up everything together. Many businesses in El Malecon that have been year after year putting money. Of course, they make money, but it's a very good thing. It's a win-win situation for all of them. So that makes me happy. We have the support of Lot Tigers for years. Since year one, Warren and Ari Levenbaum, they have been involved with us. Also, the last few years, Sanborn's Insurance, it's been a big sponsor.
And God willing, we're both here a year from now. Let's do this in advance of your 20th anniversary.
Sure, we will.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Please do tune in, check out, and enjoy our 2019 Rocky Point Rally Best of and Worst of Highlights video. We'll have it online right after the event. I'm Thomas Baldrick. Until next time, adios, friends. We appreciate you being part of the Rocky Point Podcast.